Oh, you know what I've been doing? I've been kicking people out. I have no clue what I'm doing today. I think I've been booting people from the call. Like I've been wielding the ban hammer with impunity. No wonder people keep coming back in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. I'm your host, Shane Sams. It is great to be back with you again this week. Super excited to help you monetize your ideas, to help you start, build, and grow an online business, to help you make money online, to help you figure out how you can take your ideas out into the marketplace and you can build that online business that lets you work from home and live the life that you want right now. Now, normally I've got a guest, but I've got multiple voices, multiple guests coming on the show this week because we just did an awesome member call last week in the Flip Lifestyle community. And we had a ton of great questions. We're going to air a few of those for you on the air today. Me hanging out, letting people call in and ask me questions live here on the member call. And we're going to let you tap into that, let you listen into it so you can see what it's like to be on a member call inside of the Flip Lifestyle community. If you ever want to join us inside one of our member calls, man, we have multiple calls a month. You can get into fliplifestyle.com right now, and you can check out everything we do inside of the Flip Lifestyle community. Now, some people can't attend our calls. So before we get started here, I'm actually going to pull one of our questions from the Flip Lifestyle community forums. You know, that's what we do at Flip Lifestyles. We answer your questions about making money online so you can get on the internet and live that location independent lifestyle. We know that everybody can't come to every single call that we do. Everybody can't be there when I'm there. So what happens is we've got these forums where people can come in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can interact with hundreds of people in the Flip Lifestyle community. It's like a virtual mastermind that's happening all day and all night. And what I'm going to do to kick off the show is I'm actually going to answer a question from Jessica. She's asking about emailing her list. She just opened her membership. She got 8 members right out of the gate, and she's got a question on how to keep those sales going. Jessica says, I opened up 15 spots in my membership starting yesterday, and I did a pre-sale and sold 8 of them to people on my waiting list right away. Way to go, Jessica. Way to get in the Flip Lifestyle blueprint, watch the training, and take action and go out and get your first members. Guys, imagine if you had 8 people paying you $100 a month right now. That'd be $800 a month. What could you do with that? Jessica's got a membership with people actually joined and paying her because she's taking action in the community. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to get continued sales is for the remainder of my email list. I've sent a single email. I want everybody to remember that. I've sent a single email to my list. No one additional has purchased after the first 8. Is it best for me to keep emailing my list? How often should I do this? I'm going to go back and watch the sales funnel training right now in the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint. And I'm wondering if anybody else has advice for me in this process. I got some advice for you right now, Jessica. So guys, you can't swing once and hope to hit home runs every time. Like if you swing once and you hit a single, great, right? If you hit a double or a triple, but you got to keep swinging if you're going to be able to make more sales and if you're going to get more people to actually join your online community, right? So yes, Jessica, you should be emailing your list at least 3 times a week. I've actually softened my stance on this, guys. It's kind of like working out. You know how you work out? Like you got to go eat good, right? You got to do the fundamentals. You got to eat good and sleep good, right? That's like building your online business, right? Then you got to get into the weight room and you got to lift the weights. You got to stimulate some muscle, right? But you can't you don't have to lift every day. You can lift every day with a good split, but you got to lift at least 3 times a week if you're going to stimulate muscle growth. You didn't know this was a health podcast too, did you? Right? But then you got to have some time in between sometimes to rest, right? So you can kind of recover and, do those things. So I've actually softened my stance on this. Is I work out like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I rest Tuesday, Thursday, and the weekend. So my muscles will grow, right? So if you need to be emailing your list at least 3 times a week, but you can also, when you can go on sprints where you're emailing it every day. There's never too much to email your list if you've got something valuable to offer your list. And also it takes multiple exposures for people to buy something. No, like many people will see your email and they're not rejecting your product. They just didn't buy it that day, right? Maybe they weren't near a credit card. Maybe they were driving. Maybe they couldn't. You don't know why they didn't buy that thing. So usually it takes, we always say, there's an old marketing adage. It takes 7 exposures before someone on average will continue to buy. I don't know if that's true, but the principle is definitely true. They need multiple exposures to join your thing. So I would, Jessica, email your list Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and tell them about that thing until you fill up all your beta spots, because this is a beta launch. And then you need to be consistently emailing your list Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like Monday could be an email about your podcast. Wednesday could be something like join my membership. And then maybe Friday could be something where you're just kind of blogging almost. You're literally telling them something about you, yourself, your journey, what you're doing. Got a great friend named Joe Nicoletti over at learnscrivenerfast.com. He uses his email list as a blog. He doesn't have a blog. If you sign up for his email list, you get messages from him every month or week just telling him what to do. So yes, you should email your people again at least 3 times a week. Don't be afraid to do Monday through Friday. That totally works as well. You got to be consistent, prolific, and relentless when you're emailing your list. Email's where you make your money, guys. Get in that list, make that. And then also, Jessica, why not invite people to a live training? Like do a webinar next month and just make that a big deal. Email your list about it for 2 weeks in a row. I'm having this big training. It's going to be awesome. And go out and watch the webinar training in the blueprint and then sell your membership on that live training. That will convert better than almost anything else you could do. And for everybody out there, listen, the path is pretty simple. Be a content creator, make a podcast, YouTube channel, blog, whatever, social media marketer, whatever you want to do, right? Just create content out in the world, get people to join your email list, email them 3 to 5 times a week, and then do live trainings a couple times a month and sell your stuff there and on the email and the live trainings. And you're going to be able to go out and grow an online business. That was a great question from Jessica. Our forums are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We have hundreds of people who are members of the Flip Lifestyle community. So there's always people in there, entrepreneurs, talking about online business. My team is posting in there and hanging out every day. Plus, we have certified Flip Lifestyle coaches that go in there and answer questions inside of the Flip Lifestyle community forums. And you will definitely see me and Jocelyn lurk in the halls as well. We're in there too. So if you want to check that out, maybe I can read your question someday. Maybe we can answer your question right now. Maybe you're stuck in your online journey and you need some help. You can find that help inside the Flip Lifestyle community. All you got to do is head over to fliplifestyle.com, FLIPPED lifestyle.com, and you can check out how to join and get all of your questions answered and hang out with some cool people as well. All right, that's Jessica's question. I read it from the forums, but we need to hear some voices from the Flip Lifestyle community. So let's see who our first live call-in question is today. If you have a question about your business, you have a question about moving forward, doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's a beginner trying to get their first web page launched. It doesn't matter if it's somebody that's got sitting on $1 million idea and they want to do something, right? Okay. It doesn't matter where you're listening, if you're listening at home or if you're like Christine, listening while you're inflating RV tires, right? That's what we're here for. We're an online community. We can be asynchronous. We can be disconnected, connected. Doesn't matter. There's always a place to go inside of the Flip Lifestyle community. Our first question today is going to be coming from Suzette Collins. Suzette Collins. How you doing, Suzette?
Fine. How are you?
Yeah, great. You look happy and alive, and man, you just brightened my day up, man. I am glad you are here. What is your question I can help you with today?
Well, I'll just read it from the chat so everybody can hear it. I teach drama and theater teachers how to teach their students to do stage makeup and hairstyling for theater. A lot of teachers have never had makeup class in college or otherwise for that matter because they're English teachers being pulled in to teach the drama class or they didn't get makeup class, that kind of thing, and they don't know how to teach their students how to do stage makeup. And that's where I come in. I happen to be a licensed cosmetologist, and I design hair and makeup for the theater. Wow. So that's my job every day. And I teach it I've taught at the college level, high school level, etc. And I hear complaints all the time about, I don't know how to do stage makeup. Can you come teach a class? Can you do a workshop? So I'm going to create a course on how to teach your students how to do their own stage makeup and some hairstyling as well. I'm also going to eventually incorporate prop making and set building and all that stuff. Yeah. But this is the thing. I'm seeing a lot of theater classes becoming CTE so that people can actually do the job out in the world, right? Stage managers, costume designers, that kind of thing.
What's CTE? Hold on. What's CTE?
It's career and technology education, like a VOTEC kind of thing.
Yep. So, I knew what it was because I used to be a teacher.
Right.
I just got to make sure everybody that hears this understands what it is, right? I speak fluent teacher.
Right. Right. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you about this, because I'm also thinking about getting my course accredited. I've got a little list over here on my Post-it notes that you make everybody write on how to get accredited. Gotcha. But I'm wondering if the CTE might be something like an added bonus. here's the course. If you want it to be CTE, it's like this, and you get this kind of thing. But I'm not sure if that's something I should do from the beginning because I'm, filming and making the course now. Or if that's something, a bonus, like I would add to that, or I don't know. What are you thinking about that?
I would not worry about that right now. The only thing you have to worry about right now is you've got to get customers learning how to do makeup. In the beginning of any business like this, what you really want to do is you want to get your first customers taking your course. Like that's the number one thing you got to do is get them in, get them getting educated, get them in your community, get them being coached. All that other stuff adds later. Like when Jocelyn launched elementarylibrarian.com, we knew that continuing education would be like a super good draw, right? Then you can add other stuff later. Like remember when we launched Flipped Lifestyle in the very beginning, it had 8 videos. That was it. It had 8 videos that all people could watch. And when those 8 videos came out, we knew we were going to add more later, but we couldn't add more until we got people paying us. Right? We want to grow a business before we add to the business. The biggest thing I see entrepreneurs make when they first launch an online business to try to make money online, they're trying to earn and they're trying to grow their business, is that they try to do too much. Like you need the minimum viable product, Suzette, the minimum viable thing out there. You had 3 Post-it notes that you held up on camera. You need to take 2 of them off and just set them aside and do the first one. Right. And then you can add all that other stuff later. And then there's something else like I've just got to add to yours. Like I love this idea. I love the focus of going into the theaters and helping with the makeup and like doing all of those things. Right. That's great. But I think you could probably expand out the avatar a little bit. One of the things like I'm a cheer dad. If I got any cheer people out there, like I've been in the cheerleading world for almost 9 years. My daughter, Anna Jo, goes to all these cheerleading competitions. Before that, we did pageants. Before that, we did dance. I mean, I've just been like down the feminine rabbit hole in my entire. I know more about pink and purple and sparkle than any man should ever know, honestly. What I love is like I think about all these dads and even these moms who they have to put on all this. They have to put on makeup for these cheerleading competitions because they're on stage. They have to put on cheerleading for all this makeup. And these moms and these, especially the dads, like if God forbid anything ever happened to Jocelyn, I had to take Anna Jo to a cheerleading competition for myself. I was begging the other moms to like help me. Like I didn't know what went here and what went on her nose and what went on her eyes, and she was putting eyelashes in. I didn't want to poke her in the eye. I didn't know how to make a ponytail or a braid or I had to learn all this stuff, right? Like I wonder if like you could too like expand that out, because it's like any parent who's like, hey, do you not know how to get makeup on a kid? Well, here's how to get makeup on a kid. You can use it for stages. You can use it for cheerleading. You can use it for gymnastics. You can use it for dance. You can use it for all these things. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think I would focus more on get a basic course for doing the makeup and expand your reach and be like perfect for anyone putting makeup on a kid who doesn't know how to do it. Right. Because a lot of people, they just don't, and they don't want to. Okay. That was an absolutely great question from Suzette. Let's give her, we got some emojis here. Let's do the hand clap. Everybody hit that number 3. Is it number 3? Is it actually number 3? Let me see if I hit number 3. Oh, you can hit the number 3 on the keyboard, and we're going to clap. And we're going to get excited, and we're going to have some fun around here today. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome stuff. Okay, so our next one is going to be from Dana. Let's spotlight Dana Morrison, the man, the myth, the legend, the DM sliding up in the DMs, baby. What's up, Dana?
Wow,
that's a good intro,
crazy.
Right? What's going on, dude?
Right.
How's your business going? Tell me. Ask me a question.
It's getting there. Had a serious life event happen kind of took me out of pocket for about a month, but I'm back.
It happens, bro.
And yeah, so you gave me action back on our call about getting on 100, going after 100 top tech podcasts. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm batting 0. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out strategies to get out there, to loosen the connection, I think, with people. And some of them I've just reached out to, and they've stopped doing their podcast for whatever reason, but they're still showing up on the top list because they've got a lot of listens, Yeah. So that happens.
So here's what we got to do. Number 1 is, what can we control? What can we not control? All right. So if you got your top 100 podcasters, so what you got to do is you got to go back through that list, and you need to go check if they're active podcasts. Like Jocelyn's been doing that recently. She's been doing this is called a guesting strategy. What we're trying to do is reach out to 100 people, and we're trying to basically get them we're trying to reach out to 100 people to get 20 of them to let us on their podcast as a guest. All right. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you got to do is control the controllables. You got to go back through that list, open their podcast, see when the last time they was. If it's over a month ago, I would just take them off your list. All right. Don't even reach out to them. Don't even look at it. Okay. All right. The second thing that you can control, and this does cost money, is you can hire a service to get you booked on these shows, and you can literally give them your list and they will reach out to them for you. There's a great service by a friend of mine named Travis Chappell. I have used this service. It was profitable, and it's called Guestio, Guestio. I would highly recommend Guestio. You'll have to go look at their packages and see what's going on there. But Guestio is a really cool service because, one, they can concierge, white glove, go find you guests. You can say, I want 4 a month. Let's make it happen. And they will make that happen. Okay. Awesome. And they'll say, how many people do you want on it? You say, here's a list of the podcasts I'd love to be on. They also have a marketplace that's kind of like Cameo, where you can literally go and pay people to be on their show. Like, you could go to Guestio.com, type in tech podcasts or whatever, and you could just be like, oh, this dude will let me on a show for $300. Cool. Let's go do it and see what happens. Right. So that's another avenue that you can use if you want to kind of cheat. And that's the fast pass, like at Disney World. Like, you can just go kind of buy your way to the front. And also to expand out a little bit, when you start culling that list and you're like, that's not active, that's not active, that's not active. Go adjacent. Like, don't just think tech. Like, who else is in like your space, like business, industry, careers, right? Like, go out to like a lot of times we will go to the family channel because me and Jocelyn have like a family vibe. Like, we can look at other avenues. I won't always just say I'm only going to talk on entrepreneurship podcasts. Like, I've been on crazy stuff. I was on Coast to Coast AM, which is a radio show that talks about Bigfoot and UFOs. And that, I was on. It's got 1 million listeners a night, and I was on Christmas night about 3 years ago. They had me on to talk about stuff for like an hour because a lot of their listeners were like in the pandemic and they wanted to like show them an alternative to make some money at home. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sure most of those people like will be hilarious and not interested in what I'm probably a little pissed off that we're talking about UFOs, honestly. Right. But like we got 3,000 emails off of that radio appearance. Right. So I was like, I don't care, man. I mean, 97% of you hated my guts, but 3% of you loved it. So let's go. Let's do this, right? Whatever it is. That was terrible math, by the way. 3% of 1 million is not 3,000, but maybe 0.03%, right? So like, that's some things you can do to kind of help that guesting strategy along, so that you can kind of get through it like a little bit quicker. And also too, it is a shotgun strategy. You're really going numbers game. You're like, man, if I can ask 100 people and get 10 of them, and then I go ask another 100 people and I get 10 of them, and you can go back and ask them again. Remember, that's marketing. It takes 7 to 10 exposures before anyone's going to pay attention. Another thing you can do when you're doing like any kind of like guesting strategy is you've got to tell them what's in it for them, right? So lead with things like go look and see if they do interviews and say, I'd love to have you on my podcast. I'll have you on my podcast first, and maybe I could be on yours. Or I'd love to serve your audience. I think I can bring value to your audience. And I think your audience would have a lot of value with what we're doing here. Try to figure out a way to bring some value to the other person that you're asking to get in front of their platform, or they're not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to do anything with you. So like, you can also bribe people. Like, one time I found out this really cool guy, I wanted to talk to him on my podcast, and then maybe open the door for being on his later. I found out he was a huge WWE wrestling fan back in the 90s. Like, he loved wrestling. I saw this on him on another interview or something. So like, you got to kind of stalk people a little bit. Right. And, or something, we got to talking about it, and I figured out that he liked the WWE wrestler from the 90s. His name was Tatanka. He was a Native American guy. He went on an undefeated streak, and he was like, oh man, I just found out he loved Tatanka. So like, he loved this wrestler. So I got on eBay, and for $20 I found a 1993 WWE magazine that was Tatanka on the cover, and it was autographed by Tatanka. Like, he had actually autographed this thing. They were selling it for like $20. So I bought that thing. I shipped that thing to that guy. He freaked out, and he was like, dude, I'll do your podcast. You do my, like, it was like just totally opened the door. Right. So stuff like that. Like, you got to get creative with this. You definitely want to take a first pass ask to everybody. But the more individualized that you can make that, the better that it's going to be. All right, we're having some fun here today, baby. We're at this first ever Flip Lifestyle member call where we are using Kajabi's internal systems. We got some gremlins. We got some growing pains. We're figuring it out, though, man. We're figuring it out. I think next up we've got who we got, Patricia? Do we have Christine? I think we got Christine.
Yeah, I've got Christine here.
All right, cool. Christine, hit your video, hit your mic. How you doing? Did you get the air in the RV tires?
Some of it, but I didn't want to miss you, so I'm inside my mom's house right now.
Okay. Well, some tires with air is better than no tires with air. I mean,
exactly.
That's the way I look at it when you're driving an RV. You know what I'm saying? Three or four should get you where you're going at least, right? Okay. How you doing? What's going on? What's your question this week?
Okay, so my question is, I know there's a lot of things to grow your business, but I want to know the number one thing that you think that would help me and other people. I'm doing YouTube and Facebook daily, and I'm guest podcasting, and I'm kind of at a stagnant point here. What's the best way to grow your membership, like getting new members?
Yeah. It all starts at the top of the funnel. Thank you for that question, Christine. It all starts at the top of the funnel. Like, audience is really all that matters. So if this is actually a conversation me and Jocelyn just had last week. We were drawing a new funnel out for her new business that she's going to be launching here in the next few months. I'll tell you guys about that on a later call. But like, we were drawing out the funnel and we were just talking about like, where are we going to focus our energy? I promise you that we will practice what we preach and drink our own Kool-Aid. Jocelyn will not be spending more than a couple days on any training that she creates. She will not be spending more than a day or two on logos and websites. We will be focused on content marketing, right? We will be focused on that top of the funnel. She's going to have a new podcast. She's going to have a YouTube channel. Podcasting and YouTube is where I think everybody needs to kind of be at. Everybody needs to be working through. Like, everything starts with content. You share the content on social media, right? Your social media comes from that core content where you are demonstrating expertise. You are serving your people. And I'd say after that initial 1 week or 2 week where we set everything up to get the email list ready and all that, we will be spending 80% of her time on content marketing. Now, what does that look like for us? That looks like creating great content. We really think hard about the content that we put out there because we want it to be entertaining. We want it to be educational. We want it to be informative. We're not just dumping as much out as possible. We want to really think it through what we're actually putting out there. We want to have great interviews with our people. We want to make sure our content is good. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing is we will be focusing on guesting. Jocelyn will be having guests onto her podcast, and she will probably be going out on to other people's podcasts as well, because that is a great strategy to get in front of other people's audiences. Now, that's organic content marketing. It is a grind, y'all. If there's only two resources that you have. You can roll up your sleeves or you can open your wallet. And when you roll up your sleeves, that means you are spending time, which means you've got to be consistent and prolific and relentless over time until you get to the tipping point, right? Flip Lifestyle came out of the gate pretty good. We were getting some traction. And then one guesting appearance finally blew us the lid off this thing, okay? And that's what made it the company that it is today, right? But it was like, I'm going to go every podcast. I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do as much as I can. Like, it is a grind when you're doing organic marketing. Right? If you want it to go faster, then you buy ads. What do you buy ads for? I actually believe right now the best place you can spend ad money is on eyeballs. Like, get people to know about you. Like, awareness is everything, right? Like, if you're unknown, you've got to become known. And if you can spend money on ads, you can become known faster, right? That's just it. For example, on an earlier caller, we had, I talked about Guestio. Like, that's basically paying ads for marketing. Like, you can go to a company like Guestio and say, hey, listen, I've been doing a lot of guesting on small podcasts that don't have audiences. I want you to put me on a podcast that's got 5,000 listeners a month. Here's money to do that. And you pay an agency to go faster, right? Like, think of organic marketing as pull cart marketing. Like, if you're pulling a cart with stuff in it, like, the olden days, right? You're going to get from your little village to the town eventually, right? You're moving forward. You're making progress, but you're sweat off your brow. It's time. It's slower. Now, imagine you invent the locomotive and you got a train and you're shoveling coal into it. That's fuel. That's what money is, right? Money is energy, right? You work hard, get money in. You now have a collection of energy. You can expand that energy out to other people. So that's the only, there is no other way. Like, I wish there was another way to grow a business, y'all. I really do. But it's roll up your sleeves or open your wallet. The world runs on content. So you have to have great content, even if you're running ads. And if you're going totally organic with no investment, then you've got to build relationships to get on guest appearances. You've got to find bigger shows to be on. It's great if you're doing guesting, but if you've only done 20 shows and those 20 people only have 10 people a piece, you only have 200 people listening. Right? You've got to go look at audiences, look at reviews. If someone's got 1,000 reviews or 500 reviews, they've got a big audience. Try to get on that show, right? And work your way into that. Get organic. Like we have done organic paths to many successful businesses. It's fine. When we started out, our first 3 businesses, we had to do this. I have practiced what I've preached. I have rolled up my sleeves. I've been consistent, prolific, and relentless on a daily basis for 18 straight months to build a brand. I've done it. I know exactly how to do it, right? You can do the same thing. Or if you do have ways to get money for ads, like a lot of people go freelance, go do a side hustle, go have yard sales. I've done all these things, by the way. I'm not just telling you to do it. These are things I've done to make the extra $1,000 to magnify it over here to get more people onto my brand and buy my way in. You can work your way in or you can buy your way in, right? That's the only 2 paths to get an audience and to get people on your list. It's not easy, but it is pretty simple. Like, those are the 2 paths to actually get there. So make sure you're doing those things. Make sure you're being strategic too. Don't just go on any podcast. Go try to find someone with 1,000 downloads. Go try to find someone with 5,000 downloads. Look for people with over 100 reviews. See if you can get on those shows. Those people probably have a decent listener base, right? So keep the organic strategy. Be super strategic about it. And then spend money. Like, go make money to spend money. Think of this analogy. Like, when you're an owner of a company, right? Like, why would I hire people? I think it's a mistake that people make when they're like, I'm going to hire people to take things off my plate. That's not really what you're doing. That's a crazy way to think about building like a team. And I'm going to tie this back to memberships. Like, when I hire someone, okay, what I'm really trying to do is double my output. Like, I actually think I worked more hours when I started hiring people, but I started working focused hours on what I was really good at, like speaking and things like that. When I hire someone, I want to meet with them on Monday. Okay. I want to meet with them on Monday. And after I meet with them on Monday, I want to meet with them for an hour, and then they go spend 40 hours doing their job, right? Because now I have magnified my 1 hour into 40. And if I have 10 people, I can magnify 10 hours into 400 hours, right? So like, it's the same thing with ads. Like you go, like, let's say you go work a freelance job and you make $200, right? So you spent like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours and you made $200. But then you could go on 100 podcasts, or you could just pay $200 in ads and magnify that out and get in front of 20,000 people with your stuff. So like, that's the games we're playing, is how can we magnify? How can we leverage our time and money so that we can get in front of more people, right? And those are the 2 paths. That's why if you really pay attention to what we do here, and that's why we're so big on don't do too many things. Don't do too many things. It's like, have a great YouTube channel and podcast. Share them in specific social media networks. Do both. Go hard in the paint on getting organic opportunities, and go do something to create some money somewhere. I don't care if you got to mow a yard, and then pay for an ad to show that content to more people, so that your email list grows, so that more people goes. Because at the end of the day, you have to grow an audience, you have to build an email list, and you have to invite them to something live, and do a webinar and sell something cool, and with an offer that converts. Like, that's it, guys. But we've got to put in the grind, and we've got to invest the energy. Was that a good answer? Do y'all like that answer? Like, sometimes I'm hardcore, man. I don't really mess around. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and go, like, just try. Like, these are the ways you grow businesses. This is how it's done, right? We will always tell you the exact truth and the path to success here at Flip Lifestyle. And those are the only ways to do it. All right, cool. Awesome stuff. All right, Patricia, who we got next coming up?
We got Lisa Hobelman.
Lisa's my Twitter buddy.
Turn your video and your mic on. You are on Spotlight.
There we go. What's up, Lisa? How you doing?
Okay, just great. Thanks, Shane. So 2 quick questions. One is, I am getting, and I'm going to do the podcast and a YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel will basically be a video version of the podcast, which is what Shane Johnson is doing. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. I actually want to just shift that during your question here real quick, because I know we're not going to talk about this, but I think everyone needs to have a flip of think of it as a YouTube video first and then use the audio for podcast, because it'll change your mindset. And YouTube is search, and more people will find you in search than on your podcast. They'll have more synergy that way.
I am doing keyword research. So
100%.
To make sure. Okay, super. So what I want to know is, because, I've heard you've said, it's important to batch produce so we don't get bogged down. But since I'm just starting, literally just starting, should I just do it, 1 week at a time, which would be hard, but to get feedback so I could adjust? And the other thing, quick question is it a big leap when people are listening to a podcast to go sign up for something? Do you know what I'm saying?
You mean like a purchase, like an actual buying a thing?
No, just to get on my email list. Do a lot of, because I know that's how you get a lot of people that way. So
yeah. That's the only way we grow our list, actually. That's what we do.
So people are out running, or they're mowing the lawn or whatever. And
yeah. But remember, they're not always mowing their lawn, and they're not always running around. They could just be sitting in their living room, right? We don't have to catch everybody every day. We just have to catch them when we can. So if we offer every week and we offer every day, then we're going to catch them when they can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally okay to do that. So I'll address these. Thank you so much for your question, Lisa. That is absolutely awesome. You can spotlight off now. Does remove people from the thing, Delynn? Oh, you know what I've been doing? I've been kicking people out. I have no clue what I'm doing today. I think I've been booting people from the call. Like I've been wielding the ban hammer with impunity. No wonder people keep coming back in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize. See, guys, you don't have to know what you're doing to make a business work on the internet. Seriously. I actually love this format. It's way more wild and fun. I feel like I'm on like Kill Tony or something right now. This is absolutely hilarious. I've been traumatizing people with I've been wielding the ban hammer, just smiting people out of the thing. Then they come back in and I'm like, stop turning your camera on. Oh, this is amazing. I guess this is why you don't practice, by the way. I'm telling you, this call would have been so much more professional and less entertaining if I'd been practicing all day and worried about this. But I ain't worried about it. Why are you worried about it? I think I'm just killing myself here. Oh my gosh. All right. So let's turn the spotlight off. There's a gentler, kinder way that I can run these calls, basically, is what's happening right now. Oh, that makes me laugh. What did Lisa just ask me? Oh, yeah. All right. So batching calls. Oh, you guys are killing me with these. These smiley faces are blowing my mind. All right. Lisa. Oh, yeah. Batching. So what you want to do is you always want to batch. You never want to go like totally weekly. And all rules are meant to be kind of broken. So Jocelyn and I are about to record a brand new podcast. So Shane and Jocelyn will be back on the air together for the first time in like 3 or 4 years. Who's excited about that? Are you guys ready for Shane and Jocelyn's next podcast? It's going to be epic. You guys are going to love this. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And we're going to get holistic on y'all, start working on some stuff. But what we talked about was how we were going to do it. I think what we're going to do is record like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. We're going to batch. We're going to get a little bit ahead, but not too far ahead, because there will be some times where we will have to pivot. Okay. We're going to have to like change things. We don't know exactly. We have a vision of where we want this to go. Actually, Jocelyn has a vision. This is her project. I'm just the party host on the podcast. She's bringing me on to do that. And then she's going to be there too. But that's what we're doing. We're going 3 or 4 ahead, not going to get too batched out. Also too, like, don't be afraid to batch like 8 or 9 ahead. And then if you pivot, you just pivot on the end. Like if you discover something on week 3 and you're like, ooh, I want to go this direction, you're still going to go that direction. Just go that direction and record 3 or 4, put them at the end and let it, the people listening don't have to know exactly when you pivoted, exactly when you changed, exactly when you did anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, what does it matter if you've got 12 ahead and you like, oh, I want to make a big change? Well, I'll do it in 3 weeks. Actually, that's what's happening now. I'm actually going to be doing some different things on the podcast coming up pretty soon. And you guys won't know when I actually decided to change it. It's not going to be next month. Like, we're recorded like weeks in advance right now. So like, it'll happen when it happens. It won't when it won't. Never cut yourself off from batching. It's your business, but I would do at least 4 weeks ahead and just let it roll. And if you want to keep doing the same thing, that's fine. That's fine too. And then what was the other question, Lisa? What was did you have a second question on that? The batching. I lost my mind when I figured out I was kicking people off.
The other question was about do people actually?
Oh yeah, opt in.
About people opting in. Yes,
I got you. Cool. All right. Yes, people do opt in from podcasts. I mean, that's our whole philosophy. Is like, go to the podcast. The podcast builds the audience. The audience fills up your social media and your email list. And then you invite those people to live events, seminars, webinars, whatever, and you sell your product there. So that's kind of like the whole flow. That's it right there. So yes, I think it is. But what you need to do is you need to make sure you're hosting on a platform that has what's called dynamic ad insertion. So basically you can go to Libsyn, Libsyn. I think that's how you spell that. I think Podbean offers it too. I'm not exactly sure. But if you use we actually host our podcast on other platforms, because platforms are just really good at this. But dynamic ad insertion means I can record a ad. So let's say I have, like, right now we have like 700 or 800 podcasts. I don't even know, right? 300 are on Apple. But like, I can record an ad. Right now I've got an ad going. If you go listen to any episode of the Flip Lifestyle podcast right now, what you're going to hear is, hey guys, before we get started today, I want to tell you about an awesome training that we've got on this date. Like, I can change my ads at will for whatever I'm selling. You don't want to record things you're selling necessarily onto your podcast. You want to use dynamic ad insertion. Okay. So I'm going to be recording a course for this on how to use, not how to use the technical thing of each platform, but what dynamic ad insertion is. My new podcast training that will be inside the new recording, the Flip Lifestyle Blueprint, will have us talking about this strategy. But you definitely need to do that, because you'll be able to change your product at will, and you'll be able to change it whenever you want. You'll be able to change your opt-ins anytime you want. And people definitely do opt in from all those things. And also, this is another important point. Remember, it's not just one thing. You can't just hope that a podcast listener does something. You have to be on a podcast. They got to see you on social media. They got to be on your email list, getting regular emails. They have to become familiar with you, build the relationship. It's a little bit of everything. Like, right, where are they connecting with you? Are they in a Facebook group? Like, if you're going to do if I'm doing a webinar, I'm going to talk about it on social media. I'm going to talk about it on email. I'm going to get my friends to promote it. Like, it's hitting people at multiple angles. That's eventually going to get them to buy your thing, or opt into your list, or do all that stuff. So that's why we focus not on as much of like, well, this tactics change, but the strategy doesn't. Content, consistent, prolific, relentless, build human audience, human connection, and then they will buy your things. Okay. So if you do all that stuff, you're going to be really, really good. It's going to make it happen. All right. Who's next, Patricia? Who we got? I got time for 2 more questions.
We got Jody.
Jody, I promise I will not remove you from the chat like I've probably done like 5 times, because you were logging in and off at the very beginning of the.
Yeah.
And I was like, why does she keep turning on? Jody, I was like, I'm mad. Stop getting. It was my fault. It was totally my fault, because I had no clue what I was doing. So I
didn't know what I was doing either.
Hey, where are you? Because you have a beautiful like vista behind you. There's like mountains.
I live in Buena Vista, Colorado, and I'm in the Arkansas River Valley. So behind me, you see the sleeping Indians, and on the other side of the apartment are the Rocky Mountains.
Denver is my like favorite place or Colorado is my favorite. Well, Kentucky's my favorite state because it's my home, right? It feels like a nice humid hug. That's what Kentucky feels like, right? But then like Colorado is my favorite place in the world. Like I love going there. Like whenever I'm losing inspiration in my life, I legit am like, book a plane. We're going to Colorado for a week, and we're just going to get out in the mountains. It is, man. Like until you've seen the Rocky Mountains, the 14,000 footers with your own eyes, you cannot fully comprehend the majesty of those things. And then like, I want to go to the Alps and the Himalayas like so freaking bad, you know, just because like, those things are bigger than those mountains is what's crazy, you know? So
we have 14,000 footers all the way around our, like outside of the apartments. That's what we see from the balcony.
That is so good. Have you been to Utah?
I haven't.
Salt Lake City. Anybody been to Salt Lake City here? Who's been to Salt Lake City? Hit a clap or something. You know what I'm saying? It's weird.
Actually, I have been to Utah and driving through the, I think the Mitts. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's what they're called. And it's like a baby. It's like a baby Colorado. You know what I'm saying? But it has its own like super unique, interesting like charm. You know what I'm saying?
It's the sunset there is like,
it's
gorgeous,
ridiculous. And like, and that little valley that Salt Lake City sits in, like everybody in Salt Lake City or everybody in Utah lives within 4 hours of Salt Lake City. Everybody lives in like one place. And, but it's just a beautiful mountain range. I've never seen anything like it, but we've been there twice this year already. We actually went in March and we loved it so much. We immediately booked another trip back there because it was like, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Okay. All right. What's your question? What are we talking about, Jody?
Okay. So I created a rather lengthy green clean certification course online, which I haven't sold to anyone yet.
What is green clean? What does that mean? Tell me what that means.
Teaching people how to clean with all organic, all natural cleaning. Cool. Yeah, with using essential oils and vinegar and baking soda and such things as that, rather than toxin-filled stuff like bleach and cleaning supplies. Anyways, I'm wondering if I should break my very lengthy certification course into smaller courses. And I'm also wondering, because so far I have had no one buy the course, but I'm also wondering if I should like take sections of the course, make little mini courses to use as lead magnets.
How much is it? How much is it right now?
Right now, I'm charging $137, which is an odd random price, but
whatever. That's fine. It ends in 7. That's all that matters. It starts in a 1 and it ends in 7.
That's my favorite number.
but I'll tell you this: there's really no difference psychologically than like 137 and 197. So if you're going to cross the 100, you might as well go on up. This is actually a great question because everyone makes this mistake, right? Something doesn't sell, and you immediately go to the product or the price or the breaking it up. You know why people do this? Because it's easy. It feels like that's something we can control. I can take my course. I can break it up. I can do these things. I can do that thing. I can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like, it feels like that, but that's totally wrong. The thing you have to do is focus 80% of your energy on getting that in front of more people. That's it, guys. That's the game. We build the product as fast as possible. We get it to market and we show it to 1,000 people as fast as possible. Now, there's a million different strategies. We got to create content. We got to do that thing. Maybe an avatar issue. I'd actually toy with an avatar before I would toy with a product offer. If I know my offer can do what I say it does, I'm just going to get it in front of more people that know exactly what that thing does. Like, for example, like, I don't know. I know you're selling this to like maybe moms and green people. That's cool too. But like, what about like housekeepers? Like, hey, the stuff that you're a housekeeper. You're going out and you're cleaning houses. There's millions of people, probably hundreds of thousands of people that do that. Like, I've got 3 people that come clean my house every week or whatever. Like you're using these chemicals. They're killing you. Like, go green. It's cheaper. You can have whatever, better house, you know, like maybe toy with the avatar. But like, how are you getting this in front of people, Jody, and everybody else out there? Like, guys, stop tinkering with your website. Stop playing with your colors. That's a comfort procrastination is all that is, right? Like, you don't know if your product's good yet. You haven't even got any. Go give it to a housekeeper, you know. Let them take it just to make you feel better so someone can go through it, right? Go give it to somebody and get a result. But like, guys, you got to get your stuff in front of more people. How do we do that? Content marketing, social media marketing, email marketing, and ads. We've got to be creating consistent content on a platform over time. If you've got extra income or you've got a way to make income, we need to buy ads to get people on our eyeballs on our content. And we got to get that stuff out there. It's all marketing. Like, a lot of people say, like, we say a lot of terms that are kind of interchangeable. Like, we'll say like we'll say like online business. We'll say make money online, earn and grow and scale and be an entrepreneur. We say all these words, right? But at the end of the day, it's internet marketing. That's what happens. We've got to get more. So, and people, you might say, like, how do I do that? Well, number one, go to the blueprint. We have a lot of most of the content after phase like 5 is just marketing stuff, right? Is ideas to get it churning. Every niche is going to be different. We're going to have to try some things to get them to work. But normally, guys, we default to this comfort of things we control because we're avoiding the uncomfortable, the challenges of how do I get more people to know about this product, right? So what I would say for you specifically, Jody, is I would say specifically for you that you should go and and sit down and say, I'm not going to do anything for the next like 3 hours except think about how I can get more people to know this product. I'm going to write down 10 people in my life that could use this product, and I'm going to go in and say, I would like to you to go through this course. I would like to give it to you and see if we can get a result. And the reason I say give it to 10 people is because one person's going to actually use it because you're giving it to them for free. But you need a testimonial. You need a result. You need someone to go through your course. So then you're not tinkering with the course. You have to let them go through it, right? And then you've got to think of ways to do it. Maybe start a Facebook group that's called, Green Clean and all that good stuff. Maybe it's start a YouTube channel where it's like how to clean your house green. Maybe housekeepers. I love targeting people with business. Like if you're a housekeeper and you're cleaning every day and you're trying to grow your business, like, and you don't want to die from Windex poisoning, right? So like, this isn't like My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Remember when they sprayed Windex on everything? Like, y'all remember that movie? Who remembers that movie? Give me some love. Show me the party hat. Give me a party hat. You know what I'm saying? If you remember My Big Fat Greek Wedding, remember the old guy? He would spray Windex on all the cuts and everything. That's what I'm talking about. I've seen some people seen that movie. I got 33 little things there. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Spray some Windex on it. It'll heal it up right quick. But like, you got to figure out ways to get your product in front of more people, guys. You can't give up on your product or change your product every 5 minutes, right? Like, it is what it is. Go find more people to know about it, right? When 1,000 people have actually seen your offer, change your product. All right. You got 400 to 500 is statistically significant. 1,000, if 1,000 people see it and one person buys it, I want to sell 100. I'm trying to get 100,000 people to see it. That's it. That's the game. It's all numbers. Okay. So given to those people, two ever logged in. That's exactly what Jody said. I've given it to a dozen people and 2 ever logged in. My math was right, y'all. It's like I've done this before, right? Okay, so that's cool. But that just gives you a little sample there to like figure out how. Basically, I'm trying to get that off your shelf. Like, don't think about it. Like, go over there. How do you get more people who are using these chemicals to do it, right? If I were you and you were doing this kind of business, because this kind of falls into what I would call a Jason Guyman business. He's the kind of person who he has a business. He's a member of the community who teaches pressure washers how to be pressure washers. So you're trying to teach people cleaning house how to use green chemicals. You're trying to teach housekeepers and house cleaners how to do that. You could even talk a little bit about business there, but like go create content. TikTok. This might be a good thing on TikTok, right? Because you can do little quick things like I'm spraying this stuff instead of Windex, in like some 1 minute video. So this might be a TikTok thing, right? Like do a lot of content about this stuff to get people on it. Target people who love vegan stuff and healthy stuff and green stuff. And then when you create a content base, you start getting some people following you, have a little funnel that goes, hey, if you like this video, you should sign up for my email list. Then when they get them on their email list, say, hey, you should come and check out my thing where I'm going to teach you how to use this and your family's not going to die. Also, this is a fear-based business. You have to don't highlight on all the goodies. Right? Like if I'm marketing this product, it's, hey, the chemicals you're using are killing you, your family, and your pets. I'm going hard in the paint on this one, right? Like I will show you how not to die. Like if you're going after the home goods, the mom market, like that's what you're going after, right? That scare them to death because that's true. Like you really have a fear of this. Like you're like, I want you to be healthy. I want you to not use these chemicals. So be honest. Be like, those chemicals are straight killing you. That's even more so if you're going after like the home-based housekeeper market because they're cleaning daily with this stuff, right? They've got the ammonia and I don't know if ammonia is bad. They got ammonia and Clorox and bleach and all this stuff every day. Like you got to go hard on the fear, right? That's your content. Like, did you know that Windex is killing your parakeet? You need to get that parakeet and make it healthy. If you have a pet parakeet, you're killing it with Windex, right? Like you got to like do something like that on, you can be humorous about it too. See how it's kind of humorous, but also it's kind of like, do you have a pet bird? Who has a pet bird? Somebody does, right? Anybody got a pet bird here on the chat right now? I don't know. But like that, you got to go, you can go funny and go fear at the same time and get people to take like massive action on it. So stop messing with all of your tools and website and product, guys. The only game is to get more people to see your stuff. Patricia, I'm gonna do one more question. Who we got?
All right, Jennifer Bryce. Go ahead and turn your mic and camera on.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Oh, you're muted. You're muted. Hey, don't worry. I have no clue what I'm doing on this thing today. Like, you just didn't mute. I was kicking people out and like I was knocking over some dominoes today and they were just falling down. Okay. What's going on, Jennifer? What's your question?
Shane, my question is, what does your schedule and calendar look like? I'm currently like implementing the 12-week year. And so I was just wondering what it looks like now and maybe what it looked like when you first got started.
What do you mean calendar? Tell me more. Like, I mean, like, are you talking about like how we release content? Are you talking about like what we do every day?
Your day, like your block scheduling, like how do you have that?
Cool. Awesome. Great question. Thank you so much, Jennifer. All right, my schedule. So here's the way that I try to work. Man, what a bunch of great questions we had today on the podcast, on the show from our last Flip Lifestyle member call. Full replays are available for all Flip Lifestyle community members. I usually answer about 12 to 15 questions on every single member call. And if you'd like to go watch that right now, you can do that in our member community archives. All you have to do is go over to fliplifestyle.com and you can check out how to join the Flip Lifestyle community today. That'll get you instant access to all of our training courses. You get access to our entire community. You'll be able to hang out with us in the forums, ask your questions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Plus, you'll be able to attend all of our live member events. Every single month, we've got community challenges. We've got multiple meetups happening almost every single week where you can join us and get the help and support that you need so you can start building, growing online business. You can go out there and create content, monetize your ideas, and become a location independent, self-employed online entrepreneur. We'd love to help you. We'd love to answer your questions. We'd love to surround you and give you the support you need. You can get that support over at flippedlifestyle.com. If you're already creating content and you want to monetize it, this is for you. If you're just getting started, we can help you too. Go to flippedlifestyle.com and join the Flip Lifestyle community today. All right, guys, that is all the time we have for this week's podcast. Listen, I got a lot of great content coming up for you over the next few weeks. I'm going to come in. I'm actually going to teach some trainings live right here on the podcast where you're going to be able to listen in and learn how to do different things in online business. You know, we've got a bunch more call-in questions coming to you for our next member call. We got a member call coming up. If you want to join us there, go over to fliplifestyle.com and join now. Maybe you'll be on the show. That's all the time I've got for this week, y'all. Until next time, you got to get out there. You got to earn it. You got to grow it. You got to do whatever it takes to flip your life. Shane Sams is out. I'll see you next time.